A man is hit by a truck and is reincarnated as a sword in another world. The sword is sentient. The sword introduces his wielder, a black cat girl they met by happenstance, but the sword calls it a miracle. Back when he first incarnated, he was surprised, and a voice warned him to strap in for a long way. Then the voice left. The sword is confused and thinks it's an isekai story. Then he should have power, and he checks his stats and is impressed by his stats. He boasts that if he was in an RPG he would be the legendary sword that saves everyone in the end. Suddenly, some goblins try to pull out the sword, and the sword doesn't like it. One of the goblins spits on him. He is angered and uses his telekinesis power to kill the goblins. While cutting them, he breaks the crystals in them. He thinks the glow coming from him after he kills the goblins is his purpose being fulfilled, and his stats have improved. The sword absorbed all the skills the goblin he killed had. A system voice updates him on his skill sets, and he is surprised by the voice. The system voice asks if he wants to update his skills. The sword stabs the goblin to find and break the crystal to acquire its skill. The sword likes the feeling and compares it to filling his stomach with his favorite food. He is upset he doesn't have a wielder, but he has a goal to acquire new skills. He wants to get stronger for his future wielder. Elsewhere, a cat girl and others are being forced to work hard by thugs. One of them throws a stone at the girl not to slack off. He spits, calling her a black cat weakling. The girl wishes she had power to be stronger. The sword, using telekinesis, goes around killing creatures to update its skills. He can only travel so far as it takes too much mana. He encounters a jellyfish creature that absorbs his mana. When he kills that creature, he gets the ability to float so that with his ability, he can fly for longer. He acquires more abilities from crystals. He updates his skills and then gets upset that he doesn't have a wielder. He finds a goblin nest, enters it. He then found the Goblin King and cuts its head off. The sword continues to cut all the goblins and gets fire magic, which excites him, and the skill he already has gets leveled up. He is excited that his future wielder will be a master swordsman. The black cat girl sees another person being harassed. She stands in between to protect her, and the thug tells her to stand down. Her collar shocks her, and she falls. The next morning, he harasses her again, but she has had enough and attacks him. But he shocks her again and puts his foot on her. She is determined to get stronger. The sword has formed 5 area divisions, and the further he goes, the stronger the monsters. The stronger the monster, the stronger the crystal. He killed all the monsters in the 4 areas and plans to go to the 5th level. He goes to defeat the slime monster. He uses his power to locate the monster's crystal. He combines multiple of his powers to form a master attack of Heavenly Slash and cuts the crystal, and the slime explodes. He thinks his wielder might not have survived that and thinks of getting more powerful. He gets the power of instant regeneration. He acquires another skill, Pocket Dimension, and all the slime gets sucked in. He is impressed with the Area 5 monster. The next day, he defeats the double snake with ease and acquires the duplication power, which turns out weak and turns him naked. He goes to the north side next and mid-battle, levels up and uses split thinking and earth wall to flip the turtle, and with Heavenly Slash he kills it and gets its crystal. The next day he struggles with a monster as it can jump mid-air. He finds its weakness of poison. He upgrades his powers and drags out the fight using his poison fang. He defeated all the monsters from Area 5, and now he has to explore ahead to find tougher monsters. He lands at a place. He tries all his powers, but he can't move, and every power he uses causes his mana to get absorbed by the ground. He is stuck there for 1 month. He gets desperate, lowers his standards for his wielder, and upgrades his skills for cooking and deconstruction, etc. In desperation, the black cat girl and others are in trouble. They are being attacked by a dual-headed bear monster. The thugs use the people as shields. The monster killed some peoples, and after that, the thugs are also getting killed. But the girl is determined not to die but to fight. She sees the sword and picks it up. The sword talks to her using his telepathy when she touches the sword. She says she is surprised, but it doesn't seem so on her face. She struggles to take the sword out of the ground. He asks if she knows how to fight. She replies a little, and he sees her stats. He tells her to equip him. She says she already did. He tells her to think harder. She does, and skill sharing gets activated. She is impressed by the number of skills he has. He tells her to fight first, admire later, and she fights the bear, moving like a warrior. She lands the final attack and kills the monster, and the sword praises her and tells her to thank him. She is grateful and tries to put him in the ground. He stops her and tells her to continue holding on to him, but she says the thug will just take him away. That thug is disappointed. One of his slaves is alive and complains that he shouldn't have taken the shortcut. He tells her to run away. She says she can't run away because of her collar. The thug confronts her and tells her she has a contract. The sword uses his power to snap his neck, and uses his fire arrow power to burn her contract. Her collar and restraints fall off. He says instead of a thanks, she can decide to be his wielder. She agrees. He says it's a dangerous journey, but she wants to be strong. She tells him that a black cat has never evolved. Her parents wanted to, but they couldn't, so she wants to be stronger. He likes her backstory and decides to train her and asks her name. She says that the thugs took her name he asks about before. She replies that before that, her parents named her friend and asks for his name. He doesn't have one, so she decides to name him. She thinks and calls him teacher. He asks why. She says because he decided to teach her. The system voice registers his name as teacher. He likes it and thanks her. That's how their journey began. Elsewhere, the goblins are assembling to take revenge. Friend's parents took a journey to better themselves and evolve. But in all of history, a black cat has never evolved. Her parents died before they reached their goal. Now Friend is fulfilling their dream by training to become powerful. She is good at learning both sword arts and magical skills with a little guidance. The sword thinks she is kind and is glad she is his wielder. He is determined to make her anything she wants to be. She hears a voice and runs to it. Some goblins are attacking civilians. The older person tells the younger one to fight, but he is not successful. Friend comes and kills all but one goblin that runs away. The sword kills one of the goblins that was attacking from behind, using the sword art or a blade. It is not as powerful but good for surprise attacks. The sword tells her not to reveal that he is a talking sword, as only she can hear him. The man offers her a ride. The sword tells her he wants her to guard his carriage, so the sword tells her to take the offer, as he looks harmless. On the way, he tells her about the Great Wolf Plains trouble that caused the weaker monsters to come toward the roads. That was the area that the sword came from, so the trouble was his fault. The man tells her that the S-rank monster Finliard died there. His mana is still there, so the weaker monsters spawn there. She asks the man if he heard of a sword at the center of that, but he says no. For a second, the sword gets excited. The man talks about her being an adventurer and the tier list of monsters. She asks what that is. The man explains that each monster has a threat rank, and the ones that hunt those monsters are called adventurers that go from S rank to G rank. She asks how to become an adventurer. He tells her about the Adventurers Guild and they buy materials found from slaying monsters. The sword gets excited at the thought of making money, and the hungry cat girl agrees she would like some money. The old guy calls her a weak cat girl and says she can never be an adventurer. She sleeps at the back of the cart. The sword thinks about a child like her becoming an adventurer. The goblin that ran away reports back to the head goblin. They reach the city, and the young guy says he will pay her entry fee. She thanks him, and they enter and see the other adventurers. Some people make fun of a cat girl carrying a big sword. The sword checks all the other swords that are stronger than him. He gets upset, and Friend consoles him, saying he is strong and pretty and no other sword can compare. And the sword has a new purpose: to fully support Friend. They reach the Adventurers Guild, where the receptionist Nell is angry at the mercenaries there, but is forced to put a smile on her face. Nell takes one look at Friend and warns her, saying she is just a child and they don't let just anyone register with them. She will have to fight an examiner in a mock battle, and if she gets hurt, the guild is not responsible. She thinks the child will run away. She takes her to the battleground to fight Danadrand, who makes it dark and tries to intimidate. The sword sees his stats and gets scared. Nell starts the battle, surprised that Danadrand's intimidation didn't work on her. They battle with Friend dodging his attacks. The sword casts a buff on her to increase her skills, and she attacks him head-on, causing him to get injured. But it heals quickly. She uses earth and fire magic to hold him down and burn him and attack him with Dragon Fang. She sent him flying towards the wall, making a hole in the wall. Nell is flabbergasted by her skills, and with a thumbs up from Danadrand, says she passed the exam. She is taken in front of Klimt, who asks her how, at her age, she is using mid-tier sword arts and casting level 10 fire spells and where she learned that. She refuses to say anything. The sword warns her that if someone found out about them, they might spot a weakness and exploit her. Klimt uses Identify, but the sword at the right time uses Identity Protection. She is accepted, as the spirits are calm, he says. When asked, he says that they are sensitive and can sense ill intent and malice. The sword checks his stats and sees he has a lot of skills. Klimt tells Nell to issue Friend the guild card, and they go to the crystal which will record her mana signature. She will also have to choose a class. A class gives different skills and abilities that one can obtain, so she should choose the one that matches what she is hoping for. Nell checks all the classes available to her, and there are a lot, but she thinks spell art is good, and the sword encourages her decision. She chooses the class, and Nell gives her the guild card. She also wants to sell some materials for money for a room. Teacher tells her to pretend to remove the material from the pocket dimension as if she is getting it from her bag. She removes them, flooding the room with materials. Nell is surprised and asks for a minute. She later gets a bag full of gold. The sword is surprised at the amount. Friend thanks Nell for everything, and they are off to get a room. But some thugs block her way. Teacher tells her to ignore them, and she walks ahead but is blocked again. The thugs complain about her smell. She tells them she took a bath in the river, but they continue to tease her. The sword realizes the stuff she has to put up with. They accuse her of making an underhanded deal for the materials with Nell. She comes to defend her and says the materials they get are damaged. Nell questions their integrity as adventurers as they gang up on monsters and do not dissect the monsters properly. She tells the greedy adventurers to piss off and die. Angered, they attack Nell, and Friend defends her without uncovering the sword. They block the way out and threaten to sell her as a slave. She uses the power to cut off a thug's leg. The sword is surprised. He is proud she learned fast and is using his powers without his guidance. Next, she uses oscillation to destroy them from the inside. The thug tells Nell to arrest her, but she says it was self-defense, but asks them to pay for cleanup or healing services won't be provided. The sword tells Friend to never piss off Nell. They leave to get her some gear. An old man with a glowing red eye follows, knowing the sword is intelligent. Friend and the sword are on the hunt for armor and see different shops, but they are all booked when the old man taps her on the shoulder, saying he can give her armor. Teacher uses Identify to check his stats. Teacher figures that the old guy might be a top-tier blacksmith. The old guy asks if she wants to see what he has. She asks Teacher. He says to go but keep her guard up on the way. A few people are surprised that the old guy Gallus is giving Friend armor. They call it a waste of his talent. Gallus tells her to ignore them, as they want to resell his gear for profit. She asks if he is okay with her. He tells her he saw her fight the ex-mercenaries at the guild, and the only people he gives his armor to are personally approved by him. He approves of her, and she puts on armor. Teacher likes it, as the armor has protection against poison, fire, and other spells. Gallus asks for 150 for the armor. She asks if he is sure about selling it to her. He replies that he found it on a dead guy. It is her first adventurer armor. Teacher gets upset that everything in the store is more powerful than he is. She consoles him. He agrees to research and look at some swords. She asks to see some swords, but Gallus asks why, as she already has an intelligent sword. Friend gets alerted and jumps away from him. Teacher wonders how Gallus knows about him. He has protection against Identify. So how? She asks him, and he laughs and tells her about his skill, God's Eye, which lets him see through identity protection, and that her sword is strong. The sword argues that he is lying and that the swords on his walls have much higher numbers than his. She quiets him. Gallus continues that it's clear she can communicate with the sword using telepathy and won't need his sword. He asks if she knows about mana conductivity. He demonstrates by taking his sword and tells her to draw her sword. He tells her to attack his sword with only 100 mana, which she does and cuts the other sword down. Both are surprised. Gallus explains that his mana conductivity rating is A, which has 200% efficiency. This means whatever mana she puts in, she gets double out, and her sword can take up to 1,000. He is up there with the other enchanted swords. She hugs the sword, saying she knew he was powerful. Gallus asks who forged him, but he doesn't know, so Gallus guesses maybe a godsmith. They are blacksmiths with legendary power who craft divine swords. There are only 5 godsmiths in history. Teacher gets excited that he can be a divine sword, but Gallus says he is not good enough to be one. He bows down to Gallus and asks him to make him a scabbard. He agrees while she wanders away. The sword gives him material from the pocket dimension, and he says it is from C and D rank monsters and that he can make great armor from it. He says he doesn't have any money. Gallus agrees to do it for free and gets lost in thought. When the sword calls him, he apologizes. He says they are off on an adventure, so he will give it his all to make everything for her. She is grateful. He can make the scabbard in 3 days, but the armor will take him a month. She thanks him and leaves. Teacher asks if she might need undergarments. She says she is fine, but a lady overhears them and takes her inside, shows her multiple pairs of underwear, and has her try on clothes. The sword is glad the shop lady took care of all her womanly necessities. They head next to buy spices and utensils for him to cook. They enter a spice store that the shop lady recommended. They get scared by the lion face and hear a voice welcoming them. He is big, and she asks whether it's a general store. He confirms and says people confuse it for a weapons store. After checking his stats, he seems like a mid-tier adventurer. He agrees, saying he retired to start the store. He asks if she is one too. she agrees. He tells her to look around, and teacher is fascinated by everything at the store. Later that night, they look for a room. The guild card gives them enough of a status symbol that she gets a room. She loves the room, while teacher thinks it's okay. She is grateful for the sword as her life changed drastically after meeting him, and she hugs the sword. He promises they can stay in all the rooms and eat all the food. She can't wait for the food. He says he will take care of her until she evolves. He thinks she might be the reason he reincarnated. A little later, teacher makes her fried chicken at her request for meat. She loves it and devours the whole plate while he thinks of all the potential food he can make with the spices. After the food, they decide what they can upgrade. She suggests healing magic, as she saw Danadron use it mid-battle. He thinks of other things he can upgrade according to her skills and gear, like doppelganger and healing, etc. But she falls asleep. He lets her sleep. Elsewhere, the goblins are preparing to fight. The next day, they go out to collect herbs with Nell's help and his plant knowledge skill. She is bored, but he says it's necessary for her. She hears someone fighting and runs to it. They see 3 adventurers fighting goblins. Some of the goblins are hobgoblins with high ranks, so she decides to help them. Before the guy can use his spell, she attacks. The others are surprised, thinking their friend did it, but then she jumps ahead, and they are surprised by a kid. He agrees that she is on fire, but she meant real fire, and he pours water, so they decide not to use fire and switch to earth magic. She kills all the goblins, and the system voice says her skills are upgraded to level 4. She uses all different spells. Later, she uses a healing magic circle for the whole group to heal. They are impressed with her skills. She introduces herself and tells them she is a G-level adventurer. They are surprised she is the same rank as them. She leaves but is stopped, and one of them tells her to take all the goblin materials, as she deserves them. She asks the sword. She takes the hobgoblin materials. They didn't realize it before, but now that they have, they are worried about a goblin stampede. They explain that whenever there are many rank hobgoblins, the king is nearby. When it gets big enough, the horde spawns a queen. They multiply in no time, and when the sea level, threat goblins come into human territory looking for food, that is a stampede. The stampede can destroy towns, so they are going to report it to the guild and ask her if she wants to join. But she refuses and kills a goblin. The goblin was calling for its friends. They ask what she will do. She replies that she will go ahead and fight them. The sword asks if she is sure. She says she wants to train more, and if there is a goblin nest nearby, they need to destroy it, and she starts fighting. A goblin attacks from behind, and Gallus's armor protects her. She is upgrading from level 6 to 8, and there are more goblins. They are working together, and she gets hurt, but she says it doesn't hurt that much when asked. The sword tells her she doesn't have to, but she is adamant and fights them head-on. Fren is fighting the goblin horde. Teacher tells her to retreat, but she is determined to be stronger, for which she needs to fight. The sword realizes that she doesn't want to look strong or borrow power. She wants to obtain true strength. He is with her. She uses her power to fight the goblins when an arrow suddenly comes out of nowhere and hurts her. And teacher uses a healing spell. She fights the goblins till dawn, killing all the goblins with teacher supporting her. And she reaches level 12. She goes to Gallus, and he comments on how beat up she looks and asks what she fought. She replies, "Goblins." Gallus asks how many. She counts when teacher replies, 100, and asks him to fix her armor. He agrees. Teacher tells him that in 2 days she is going to fight in a dungeon, wiping out goblins. In the forest, she had spotted the hideout she wanted to go in, but teacher told her to wait, as she was exhausted, and there were going to be a lot of them inside. So they go to collect all the crystals from the goblins they killed earlier. While teacher is doing that, the people from earlier come with reinforcements. A dwarf among them asks if she killed all those goblins. She might be a D-tier adventurer. She tells them about the hideout. They see it, and the dwarf says the cave wasn't there a month ago, which means it's a dungeon. She asks what that is. He replies that dungeons pop out of nowhere, and another guy tells her to meet the guild master, as he would want to know about it. The dwarf reassures her that they will keep an eye on the dungeon. She goes to Klimt and Danadron. He questions her on how many. She says quite a lot. When he presses her on exactly how many, Klimt tells him to relax and asks her to describe the encounter. Teacher describes it, and she repeats it. Danadron realizes that a goblin stampede is about to occur. Klimt asks if any of them retreated. She replies that all of them fought to the end, and he says when they don't retreat, it means they have even stronger tiered ones inside. She says the dwarf told her it's a dungeon. Klimt says they have to gather a hunting party. He tells Danadron to get all the F rank and above adventurers. He tells Fren that she is promoted to an F rank adventurer. She argues she isn't ready. He says Danadron is their only other strong fighter. They have no time to test her, but after defeating all the goblins, she can't remain G rank. At Gallus's, he uses mana crystals to fix her armor. He explains to them that the crystal can act as a catalyst while spell casting. That will help return the armor to its original form. It's a blacksmith skill. Teacher, impressed, asks the cost of the crystal. He explains that it's 10,000 gold, but the next repair will need the 30,001. As the effectiveness goes down, Fren inquires about the dungeons. Gallus tells her the story of the dungeons and the god of chaos creating them. The closest creature becomes the dungeon master. He can control the layout and function of the dungeon, which sometimes hides treasures. The treasure is Chaos's way of rewarding those strong enough to compete. Gallus returns her armor. She asks if he is a good god. He replies, if she sees it that way. She wears the armor using Teacher's help. He thinks there might not be treasure as it's a new dungeon. He tells Teacher that his scabbard will be ready the day they leave for the dungeon. She thanks Gallus and leaves for the room. Teacher admires her stats, impressed by how much she has upgraded and the new title of Goblin Killer while she is lost in thought. He says the healing magic has taken a toll on her and pets her. She remembers she needs a bath. He says okay, but she wants to give him a bath too, as he was also covered in blood, but he doesn't want to. She takes a bath and cleans him. He thinks cats hate baths and asks if she likes them. She replies that she used to take baths with her mother. Nell scolds her for bringing her weapon to the bath. Teacher is scared of her. Nell takes her to dinner. Nell tells her that the inn is affiliated with the guild. More importantly, she shouldn't take her weapon into the bath. She apologizes. She asks about the dungeon party and tells her to be careful while feeding her. She thanks her for the dinner. Nell expresses her dislike of the Knights Brigade refusing to help, putting the pressure on the adventurers, and curses Alsand, who hates adventurers, and wishes Amanda were there to help, and a rank adventurer who is on a Great Wolf Plains quest. Fren asks about the gods, and she tells her about the different gods and their children, and one of the gods being the Chaos Goddess. The dungeons are one of the Chaos Goddess's creations. She asks if the Goddess of Chaos is good. She replies that it's difficult to say. Fren asks why there is no god of war. She replies there was one. He was power, hungry, and fell to evil, after which he was defeated. His pieces were scattered, and the pieces that were not sealed turned into fiends like goblins and orcs. Teacher says that the fiend races he sees with Identify are the descendants of that god. Fren, bored, falls asleep. The sword admires her sleeping after all the fights. He thinks about how different this world is from his. The next day, they go to Gallus. He invites them in, saying they are just in time, as he shows them the scabbard. At Fren's insistence, he goes inside and loves it. Gallus shows him the special feature. With a small pull on a metal piece, he can unsheath himself without waiting for Fren. They thank him and leave for the mission. She is excited to fight. Danadrond is heading the mission, and he explains the mission. The plan is to kill the king and queen and get control of the dungeon master. He is interrupted by bloodshed from the goblin attack. The battle begins, but Teacher notices that instead of working as a team, everyone is scattering around. They worry, it's the goblins' doing. There are hobgoblins too, and they think they are regular goblins. They decide to help and go towards the cave. One adventurer warns her not to go alone, but she runs past, and the goblins run away. Teacher thinks it's because of her new title, the Goblin Killer. She spots a goblin overpowering an adventurer and kills it. They skip collecting the crystals, and he tells her to try a skill. She hasn't practiced it much, but it's a skill Teacher got from the tyrant Saber-Tooth. It's air hop, where she runs on air. The dwarf and Danadrond are surprised by her using high-level skills. Teacher uses fire magic to kill the goblins, and she uses sword arts to kill some goblins. Meanwhile, the goblins are bunched up in front of the cave. The sword uses high-level inferno magic, flare blast. They leave the goblins outside to Danadrond and enter the cave, motivated to kill the king and queen. Inside, the dungeon master is pleased with his surprise attack, and his random monster summoning has brought out all the strongest monsters. Danadrond has entered the cave, fighting the goblins, while he and the dwarf are worried about Fren being all alone and stealing the glory. Teacher tells her to be careful, unlike the last time. She says she will defeat the queen and king and be safe. Teacher says if things go bad, they have the item they spent money on, the Feather of Return. She is ready to give it her all. They decide to take the crystals they want and leave the others to the other adventurers. Whichever crystal they took toss their bodies in the pocket dimension to avoid suspicion. When they encounter a herd, he uses Split Mind and shoots fire magic at the goblins, annihilating them. He thinks she had tried using it but complained of a headache and didn't want to try it. He can do it. As he doesn't have a brain, they see a second road, and Teacher thinks the boss is hiding there. Fren mounts him, and he uses his power to see ahead. Denadrin and the others are dealing with the goblin's friend left behind, and they notice there aren't enough goblins for a stampede. The dwarf asks about Fren. Denadrin says all he knows is that she has level 7 sword mastery at a young age. The dwarf says going against a hobgoblin is barely anything for anyone. Denadrin worries she might let her guard down inside. Fren sees the king and queen surrounded by hobgoblins. Teacher plans to first thin out the herd with fire magic. Then she should use that distraction to take out the king and queen. They agree, and Teacher uses split mind and spells as planned. She goes to attack the king and queen, but they are already dead, which makes her upset with Teacher. He tells her she can fight the others. She says they ran away, scattered like cowards. They go ahead, wondering if the quest is over, when they see a door. They enter it, thinking that if the king and queen weren't the dungeon masters, there is another dungeon master. She calls him dead meat. The door closes behind her, and Teacher tells her to be on guard. They see a lot of army beetles, all with different classes. They decide to take them out to get all the crystals. Teacher uses telekinesis to hold them, and she slices them. 30 minutes later, after killing so many, there are still many left, and it seems their number hasn't changed. They see a portal that is spawning more. Teacher notices the army beetle leader with the summon minion skill. Seeing Fren is tired, he uses fire magic to end the bonus round. She kills the army beetle leader, and he absorbs its crystal. She reaches level 17 and also obtains the summon minion skill. She notices another door, and they feel a powerful aura. He compares it to the sea-level slime lord that he killed at the Wolf Plains. She says with Teacher's help, she can defeat anything. He wants to be cautious and uses spells to boost her reflexes and physical health. He continues with a restoration spell, and she asks if his mana is okay. He says he absorbed enough from the army beetles. Teacher promises that when they come back he is going to make her curry, his number 1 recipe. She is excited as she has never heard of it. Teacher tells her not to die. She says she won't and enters inside to find a creature welcoming her to the deepest part of the dungeon. Back at the guild, Nell is concerned about Fren and asks Klimt about the dungeon. He tells her it's a new dungeon which shouldn't be much trouble. Denadrin is trapped outside the first door and calls for Fren. She has already defeated the king and queen, leaving only the dungeon master. Teacher realizes he is the source of the aura they sensed. He sees the demon stats and finds that he has many skills, powers, and great strength. Teacher has not seen such skills and dark magic before, and from what he hears, he might be level B. He is strong enough to level a kingdom. The demon tells her to fight. Even though she looks weak, he is still going to fight without holding back. As she made it this far, he is interrupted by the real dungeon master telling him to hurry up. Teacher sees his stats and laughs at how weak he is. She notices the dungeon core, and he tells the demon to kill her, and he will make another king. The demon attacks him. They both bicker, and then the demon turns to her and attacks her, but she dodges. Teacher warns her that his sword has a really high mana conductivity rate and attack power. He can surely do that sort of stuff. He continues that one wrong move and they will die. She manages to hit his sword away and attack. Teacher warns her, but his sword returns back to him and he attacks back. Teacher warns her that he has a skill, returning shadow. He lured her in. He is impressed that she dodged his attack and vanishes. The demon attacks her from behind, cutting off both her arms. She is bewildered and the sight of her arms being cut off. Teacher uses split mind, dodging his attack and putting up a fire shield in between her and the demon. Teacher reconnects the arms using telekinesis, and by using greater heal, the demon is fascinated that she has healing magic. Teacher reassures her that she is okay and asks if she has sensation back in her hands. She says it stings, but she is okay. She apologizes for letting her guard down. He says it was not her fault. He came out of nowhere. Teacher wonders how he did it. What skill was he using to vanish and reappear from nowhere? He says he is impressed and vanishes and reappears from behind. She dodges the attack in time. Teacher wonders what skill he is using as he didn't see any teleportation in his skill list. He thinks it's shadow magic or dark. He senses the magic appearing from the ground and concludes that he is using her shadow to reappearing. He tells her to jump and attack him. Her uses poison fang. He is unaffected by the poison and uses dark magic to attack back. Teacher tells her they are at a disadvantage, so they should use the feature and regroup at the next opening. She is determined to fight and eat curry. They fight, and she manages to get close. The demon says her efforts are in vain, as he doesn't even have a scratch on him. He challenges her, telling her to bring it on. He admits she has better agility and swordsmanship than he has, so he uses skill taker. Teacher senses his mana but doesn't know what he did. He tells her to stay cautious. The demon explains that with his skill taker he stole her swordsmanship. The greater demon says she doesn't have the skills to fight him anymore. After he steals her swordsmanship with his skill taker, he attacks her, but she manages to hurt him and continues fighting. He wonders how she can still fight. Even teacher wonders the same, and he concludes it's his skills that he shares with her. He can't steal the shared skill. The dungeon master asks the demon if he needs help. He summons strong goblins to kill her, and he wants to stampede all over Alessa. The demon destroys the goblins, telling him not to interfere. If he does, he will slice off his limbs. The dungeon master complains that he is sick of him. The demon says he is done with games and he is tired of the dungeon. He continues that destroying a city will be entertaining, so she has to die, and attacks her. Teacher tells her to brace herself. Outside, Danadrond and the others feel the shock wave, and he tries to break down the door, but it won't budge. The dwarf asks for his plan. He says that he plans to break through and says to friend to stay alive. Inside, she dodges all the attacks and gets back on her feet. Teacher says at the level they are they can't beat the demon. He shows her the feather of return, but she says she agrees she can't fight him, but she has to. Otherwise he will attack all the shops and the guild. She says she has to fight to protect Alessa and its people. She doesn't want him to hurt the people. She asks teacher to lend her his power so she can fight him. He thinks back about how strong she has gotten, not just physically but mentally, to fight for the people she cares about. Teacher wants her to grow, so he tells her to fight and not retreat. The demon keeps attacking, and she continues to dodge. Teacher thinks of a weakness, as his skills don't match up to the demon's. He continues attacking while destroying the dungeon. Teacher notices a pattern. He is attacking everywhere, but protecting the dungeon master. He thinks about why and has an idea. He tells her to hit the dungeon master. She attacks him, and the demon comes in between and protects him. She remembers asking Danadrond, what will happen if the dungeon master dies? He had told her that when a dungeon master dies, the dungeon core goes into hibernation and all the monsters summoned vanish. They realize that if they kill the dungeon master, the demon he summoned will disappear. Now they have found his weakness. They keep attacking him with fire arrows, but the demon casts a shield while arguing with the complaining dungeon master. Teacher sees they are wasting their mana, as the demon has a mana shield and their attacks are getting nullified. So teacher says they have to take a gamble to attack head first. While she attacked, teacher noticed something. He explains that after a big attack, he needs 3 seconds to recharge his mana. At that time, she can attack. She throws the sword using wind magic at the dungeon master and uses her fire power on the demon. He sees through their plan, or so he thinks, and attacks the sword going toward the dungeon master. Teacher changes his direction and goes after the demon's crystal, which was his plan all along, as it will take time for his mana. The demon catches the sword, but teacher uses all his mana, and he tells the demon he made a mistake, which he can hear through telepathy. Teacher says the demon hurt her, which was his mistake, so he will make him hurt twice as much and charges his mana power to the maximum. He is able to break his crystal and kill him. He dies cursing her. Teacher is also breaking into pieces with no mana left. She runs to him, calling out to him, and hugs the sword and cries. Teacher suddenly wakes up glowing. He asks her to check if he is dead first before crying. He says the crystal replenished his mana. She calls him a jerk. He apologizes for making her worried. She hugs teacher again when the dungeon master curses her. He plans to summon another stronger monster, but before he does anything, she cuts off his horns with the demon's sword. He challenges her to try, as he will just regenerate with an armband he has. She cuts off his arm, and teacher stores it in the alternate dimension. She tells him to say his prayers, but teacher tells her he is already dead. The dungeon halts, and she rejoices at finishing her first dungeon. Danadrond and the others enter while teacher hides the demon's sword in the alternate dimension. They ask if she killed the dungeon master. He asks whose body that was lying there. One of them tells the rest that it was a B-level threat demon. She says he was hard to beat. Danadrond says he was worried. Then he scolds her for running in alone. Then he tells her all the 10 commandments for an adventurer. He disciplines her until the light in her eyes dies, according to teacher. On the way, he is impressed that she upgraded to level 25. She gained a lot of skills and titles. Even he leveled up, and his skills also upgraded, with more evolution points. She is angry at him, as he was thinking of stats the whole time she was getting yelled at. Embarrassed, he reminds her of his promise of curry. He tells her he thought of a new recipe for curry. He explains curry to her, and that they can add monster meat to make it tastier. She is excited to try it. Teacher wants to talk about skills. Still thinking of curry, she suggests sword arts and sword mastery. He upgrades them, thinking they are useful in any situation. He maxes them, and they unlock new high-tier skills. She wants to have a magic flaming sword. Next, they think of skill taker, which they can use to stop someone from using a skill. They can also use it to take the skills of those whose crystals they haven't collected yet. They both agree to upgrade that to the maximum. Upgrading it increases their success rate. Teacher is excited to try it. She wants to try it on Denadrand, but he tells her she can't steal from friends. Even if they yell at her, they will just find an annoying guy to try it on. Later, she is in front of Klimt, who thanks her for killing the B-level monster, but he says he can't praise her for her reckless behavior. But her actions did save a lot of lives, so they will forgive her this time. They examine the demon and thank her for the body and materials. It was damaged, but still useful. If she had kept all of it, people would complain. He asks her about the demon's crystal. The crystal is of high value, and the kingdoms and governments are after it. Many question why it wasn't given to the proper party. She tells him that the crystal broke after she killed the demon. She apologizes for it. He says that under normal circumstances, this would require an inquiry, as the spirits are at rest. This time he thinks he can turn a blind eye and ignore it, but he is interrupted by a guy barging in and calling her a liar. He says he is smart enough not to be deceived by her. Teacher wonders who this idiot is. In the guild master's office, the guy calls her a liar. She asks who he is. Teacher says he didn't hear him until he came in. He says he doesn't like coming here to meet commoners. He dramatically pulls out a rose and starts plucking its petals. He introduces himself as August Alsand, lieutenant of the Alessa Knights Brigade. They remember Nell warning them about him. He says he has the skill essence of falsehood, which lets him see through lies, so her lies are not going to work on him. Klimt asks him if she is lying. He is adamant that she is lying. Teacher checks his stats. He is at level 30, but it doesn't match his skill. Teacher asks the system for the description of essence of falsehood. She says it makes the equipper's dishonesty more believable. Teacher explains that when he has equipped his skill, he can make other people believe someone is lying even when they are not. He tells Klimt to let the Knights Brigade deal with her. He replies that he can't allow that. He says she lied to a nobleman, so surely he can't allow that disgrace. Klimt tells him he is ill, equipped to handle her rank and prowess. She defeated a B-level demon on her own. He says the Knights Brigade should have its crystal and raw materials. Klimt says the guild has first rights to its materials. He continues that even if she did have the crystal, they forfeited the right when they refused to aid them, so they have no right to demand it. He tries to argue that the information he gave was vague, so they couldn't risk the lives of the knights. That's the adventurer's job. Klimt reminds him that the situation was resolved because of the adventurers who risked their lives, and he won't hear him slander the adventurers. He can't believe Captain Urs rejected their request for aid. Klimt accuses Alsand of making that decision on his own, which is above his pay grade. He denies it. Klimt asks if he wouldn't mind if he asked the captain himself. Seeing their politics, she offers August the goblin horns. Disgusted, he throws them away. She angrily goes to collect them and wants to stab him, but Teacher tries to calm her down and suggests stealing the skill that is annoying them instead. Teacher steals his essence of falsehood, and she steals his noble etiquette. They are both overjoyed. She challenges him by claiming to be 100-year-old frog and challenges him to deny it. Intimidated, he runs away, promising they'll meet again soon and farting, which Nell witnesses in disgust. Nell is relieved friend returned safely. Klimt apologizes, saying he rose through the ranks without earning it. He paid stronger adventurers to kill high-rank monsters for him, allowing him to gain levels without lifting a finger. Nell says he is still Captain Urz's son, who oversees Alessa. Klimt tells her to be careful around him. He dismisses her and asks Nell. After confirming with her, he tells friend to head to the reception desk, as she is getting a rank advancement. She asks about an E-rank promotion, but he says she'll be D-rank. He wanted to make her C-rank, but the others objected. Teacher understands, as she just became an adventurer. Nell tells her to collect her reward payment. Klimt threw a bonus in there too. She bows using her new skill, Noble Etiquette. Outside, Teacher warns her not to use skills she just stole, as people will suspect her. She says she always wanted to do something fancy. Teacher is glad that Guy didn't destroy them. In the lobby, Nell gives her a huge bag of gold and congratulates her on making rank D. The dwarf congratulates her and introduces himself as Elevant. He says if she ever starts a party, he will join her. Everyone else that were there at the mission also congratulates and praises her for defeating that demon and thanks her for saving their lives. Teacher tells her to treat them, as they fought alongside her and she got a bonus. She agrees and offers to pay for everyone's drinks. Later that night, back in her room, Teacher is glad he didn't force her to retreat, as she became stronger and received all the praise. She dreams of the curry he promised, and he says tomorrow. Outside, August has become almost homeless. The next day, Teacher has a dream about 3 godly figures and a hand reaches out to him. Friend calls out and he snaps out of it, wondering what that was. Since he doesn't sleep, it wasn't a dream. They go to a riverbank to prepare curry using spices from Rufus's shop. He also wants to add monster meat, and is glad that the meat doesn't go bad in the pocket dimension. Teacher says they spent 100,000 gold on the ingredients and utensils, but it's worth it for a feast for friend. They start cooking. She helps him cook. They start cooking the hamburger steak, mixing dough and meat and preparing the glaze. And the demi-glace hamburger steak is ready, and teacher stores it in the pocket dimension, upsetting her who just wants a taste. Then they move to the main dish of curry. They make 3 different curries, each with different ingredients and spices. She eats it with fluffy rice and enjoys it a lot. They store the leftovers in the pocket dimension for next time. A week later, still waiting for Gallus to finish the armor, they take some quests around the mountains. They find more stuff for curry and crystals. On the mission, they kill a fish, and she is worried it might get mixed with the curry. So teacher gets the curry out to reassure her that it's fine. Now that it's out, she enjoys all the curries, and she likes all 3. On the way back, teacher complains that they only got 7 crystals. She says it was faster in the dungeon. The gate guard welcomes her and asks her whether she knows Alsand. She asks who that is. Teacher tells her that they met him before. He is the noble from the guild master's office. The gate guard warns her that his father, Urs, is angry at him, and he says he doesn't know what she did but tells her to stay alert. She thanks him and leaves. In the city, they wonder if he is angry because she used skill taker on him. Teacher warns her that someone is following them. She is aware. They lead the person on. Teacher says not to run, as they don't want to keep an eye out forever. She changes her route. They walk on top of a building. Teacher tells her there are 2. She turns and asks why the person is following her. It's Alsand, looking like a zombie. He is complaining that because of her, his life is over. She pretends not to know him for a while. He looks at her again, confused, and says it's her. She refuses again, saying she has never seen him before. He catches on and calls her a lowly black cat, and she gets angry. Another guy jumps out, describing selling her and chopping her up. She says it's a blue cat. Teacher asks who that is. She tells him that they are the enemies of the black cats. Teacher has never seen her this angry. Elsewhere, a woman uses a whip to kill some creatures without even looking at them. Friend tells teacher that the blue cats are enemies of the black cats, and she draws her sword. Teacher asks about the story of the blue cats. Friend tells him that the blue cats betrayed the black cats, stripping them of all dignity, and then sold them off to slavers. August dances, thinking the strong blue cat will destroy her and take his revenge. She is shivering, and the blue cat says she should be scared. He walks behind her, telling her black cats are supposed to be cut down by blue cats. He attacks from behind, but she manages to dodge. Teacher sees the sword's stats and concludes it's stronger than the demon sword. He asks if Fren is okay. She tells him that when she was traveling with her parents, the blue cats attacked them multiple times and they barely survived. He kicks her. She falls, and he kneels and tells her a black cat made the mistake of fighting him. He took her daughter and cut off her ears and limbs. He says she died before he could finish his fun. He grabs Fren's hair and tells her that next he tied up the woman, gouged out her eyes and flayed the flesh from her bones. He says he enjoyed her screams. After which he fed her to hungry dogs. He steps on her head. He asks if she will give him a better show than that woman. Teacher reassures her, saying she is an adventurer who will evolve. She defeated the great demon. He tells her the blue cat can't beat her. She thanks teacher and gets up. The blue cat attacks. She defends and asks how many black cats he killed. He replies that he stopped counting after 5 or 7. She says it will be easier to kill him. She cuts off his arm and throws it, along with his sword, into the pocket dimension, calling it pretty. She says she will make him pay. She says she can't put living things in the pocket dimension, so she will cut him into materials, and cuts off one limb at a time. Teacher tells her he will kill him if she wants. She wants to set an example for all fellow black cats that they can evolve. If they let him live, the surviving black cats are threatened. One day someone has to stand up, and today she is going to stand up. Teacher agrees and asks her to use him. He starts talking, so she puts the sword in his mouth and takes off his head. She puts all his parts in the pocket dimension, and August is crying, all scared. She wonders whether she should kill him. A water bubble talks to her. It's the guild master. It takes her to his office. He tells her it's a water spirit. She says she thought spirits had human shapes. He argues that she shouldn't speak ill of the cute water spirit, and the only humanoid spirits are greater spirits, which are reserved for battle. They get back to the topic of August Alsand. One of the adventurers was supposed to escort him to his family estate. His father gave them the quest to bring him quietly for his punishment, as he offended the royal family, but he snuck out with money. He will be punished, so that situation is handled. She asks if she is getting paid for the quest. He says yes and adds a bonus. He tells her not to share anything so as not to get involved in political matters. She leaves when she bumps into a lady who hugs her. She tells her to call her mommy. Teacher asks her if she is her mother. She says no. The lady is still hugging her and not letting go. He realizes her mother is dead and the lady doesn't have cat ears. She lets go, apologizing, and hugs her again, saying to call her mommy anyway. She is not letting go. The lady tells her she will let go if she gives her a kiss, but she says no, and she will kiss her. Teacher tells her to slip out. She can't, as the lady is strong. Klimt calls her Amanda, says he knows she likes kids, and tells her to show some self-restraint. She apologizes, saying she got carried away. Klimt introduces her as a rank, an adventurer. They are surprised. Teacher says she looks young for her age, but since she is a half-elf she looks younger than she actually is, and her stats show she is strong. Amanda says she knows her from the stories around the lobby, that she cleared out the dungeon alone. She praises Fren. Klimt tells her that Amanda was out on a mission on the Great Wolf Plains. She dreads the report she has to give. Fren leaves, and Amanda says they will talk later. She replies that they don't need to and leaves after that. Amanda follows her everywhere. Even in the library, where she goes to inquire about any dungeons nearby. She follows her, pretending it's a coincidence each time. Amanda follows her relentlessly. She complains to Nell. She says that Amanda might seem strange at first, but when she was young, she opened an orphanage. She cared for the children who had no one and earned the title of protector of children, given by the gods, so she is kind and is okay. Amanda sneaks behind Nell, scaring her, and says not to badmouth her. Nell tells her not to use her stealth and scare her. Others around are scared, with one telling a story of her killing the last guy who stared at her. She gives them one look to shut them up. Amanda says they keep bumping into each other. Fren calls her a liar and says she is following her. She denies it and says to call her mommy. Nell tells her that the guild master wanted to see her. She goes to the office, scaring Klimt, who was lost in thought. He tells her to be gentle. She says he called her. He opens a bag of crystals, saying he got them when he was an adventurer, all from rank 10 above monsters. Skeptical, she asks whether he is giving them to her. He says he will give her 2, but in exchange, she has to go on a quest. He explains, there is a dungeon named Spider's Web, and he wants her to join that expedition. She bargains with him, ready to walk away. They settle on 5 crystals. Teacher praises her haggling skills, and she asks why he wants her on the quest. He explains that people are questioning her sudden jump in rank. She reminds him that he promoted her. He is aware of it. He says people assume she paid to get promoted, or that he has a disgusting proclivity for little girls. He wants her to complete a level-appropriate mission and deal with all the rumors about himself. And if she completes this mission, he will let her go to a difficult dungeon. She asks how he knew about that. He says he is the guild master after all. She agrees to the quest, and Amanda suddenly breaks down his door and says she will join the mission. She checks the information and sees that everyone on the expedition is male. Klimt tries to explain, but she is adamant that she is going. Later, Fren enjoys curry and asks if there might be big monsters. Teacher says it is less likely, as it's already mapped, so they can't expect much. She asks about the crystals. Teacher uses identify and sees that 3 are D rank and 2 are C rank and eats them up. He acquires a lot of skills. They are both excited. She asks what skills he got. He says a lot of water skills. The summon minion skill catches his eye. He remembers he got it from the leader of the army beetles. He wants to try it out on the mission. They should use the skills and give it their all. On the night of the battle, she is facing Amanda and her whip. Amanda attacks and she manages to duck and tries to attack. Fren reaches the rendezvous point for the mission. Amanda comes and hugs her and asks if she slept well and dreamt about her. Fren replies that those are nightmares. They see the other adventurers. The leader explains that the 2 parties are using this quest to get promoted. He introduces himself as Cruz Roselle, leader of the Ashura Guardians party, and introduces 2 other members of his party. He will appraise the other parties for advancement and asks the other parties to introduce themselves. Crad goes to introduce himself. His party's name is Dragon's Roar, and it has 4 members. Crad is confident they will pass. He stares at Fren with rage. Next is Freon. Teacher sees his stats, and he is a wood elf spirit sorcerer like the guild master. His party's name is Eye of the Forest, with 4 members. Amanda introduces herself, and everyone wonders why a rank adventurer is on this mission. Next, Fren introduces herself, and she says she likes curry. Crad picks a fight, calling her a faker whom the guild master promoted for no reason. He questions why a rank adventurer and the cat that the guild master likes so much are on this mission. Amanda gets behind him and holds his head. She asks him to repeat what he said. He apologizes. Teacher is impressed by how fast Amanda moved. Crad is okay with Amanda, but still believes Fren is a cheater and tells her to go back to her mother. She tells him her mother died. Cruz says Amanda is only observing because if she participated, the mission would end too quickly, leaving no chance to prove themselves. He explains the spider's web dungeon. They are there to collect all the crystals and kill any monsters that spawn there. Crad boasts that his team can wipe them all out. Cruz explains that the monsters use crystals, so he can't just wipe them out. He says the mission is not going to be easy, and they head out. Teacher found out from Gallus that the dungeon core can be used to spawn monsters. The guild uses adventurers to collect these monster crystals, which help make them money. Some are strong enough that foreign nations are after them. Crad tries to mess with Fren on the way, and Amanda puts him in his place. He tries multiple times, and Amanda stops him, causing them a delay. Cruz tells them that they will enter the dungeon in the morning. At night he assigns the night watch to each group. The starting watch is Fren's. Crad comments on Amanda not participating. Cruz tells him the watch is part of their test, and her participation will invalidate it. While Fren is on watch, Crad questions her skills. He questions her rank and her ability to keep watch. She tells him she can and that her rank is not fake. He tells her to prove it, drawing his weapon. He asks her to duel. Teacher tells her she doesn't have to fight. He makes fun of her sword, calling it a cat toy. She gets angry and agrees. Teacher asks if she is sure. She says he insulted him, for which he will pay. The others are interested in the friendly spar. Teacher wonders if no one is going to stop him. Crad is pumped to prove she doesn't deserve her rank. Teacher tells her to use earth and wind magic to put up a barrier and do their assigned job first, which she does. The others are impressed. He gloats about his spear being superior to her sword. He attacks, and she dodges and uses wind speed to get behind him and attack. She asks if he is already out of breath and kicks him to the ground. She boasts about her super amazing sword. Teacher says she didn't use him to defeat Crad, so she starts hitting Crad with Teacher's face, which he complains about. Fren calls it a decent duel, and Amanda compliments her and asks if they can duel next. She insists. Fren sets a condition. If she wins, Amanda has to stop following her. Amanda accepts and says if she wins, Fren will have to call her mommy. Teacher warns her that Amanda is rank A. She says he doesn't have to protect her, and she wants to see how long she will last. Amanda pulls out her worm whisker whip. She starts easy, cracks her whip, and Fren gets a small cut. The whip returns, and she dodges. Teacher praises her move not to use the sword, as the whip might wrap around it and hit her or take the sword away. Crad wakes up. She dodges all the attacks of the whip, and Fren finally attacks. The whip comes back, which she dodges, and she gets close. Amanda hits her with the handle of the whip. She can't find an opening. Amanda decides to give it her all and adds mana to her whip. She attacks, and Fren barely dodges this time. Teacher concludes that she can use her mana to control the whip's movement. Amanda praises her, as no one has beaten that move before. She attacks, Fren dodges and is thrown backward, and she uses the sword to anchor herself. Teacher tells her that she can't keep this up. She uses wind step to run and split mind, surprising Teacher. Amanda is done and uses her final move, which cuts Fren, but she still moves with air burst and attacks. Amanda defends with wind shield. She struggles against the wind when Fren uses a fire attack on the other side and hits her. Teacher realizes why Fren used split mind. She is on fire, and Cruz runs to her aid. Everyone is surprised that Fren beat Amanda, but she comes out of the fire unscathed. Fren gets up saying she can still fight, but coughs up blood. Amanda holds her, saying she got carried away, and uses her healing power. She says she wanted to take the hit, but her spirit's undying favor activates on its own. Teacher checks that it nullifies attacks and thinks it's unfair. Cruz tells them to douse the fire with water, and Teacher says they shouldn't have used fire with all the trees around and will have to apologize later. Fren sleeps on Amanda's lap. Teacher thinks Fren doesn't like using split mind, but it worked well and thinks of Amanda's spells. He says they learned a lot from the fight. Fren dreams of her mother telling her to fight for the future of black cats and wakes up to see Amanda. Teacher tells her she has been out for 2 hours. Amanda says she healed her wounds, but she will be tired. She tells her it's okay for her to accept help from grown-ups once in a while. Fren says she was tough to fight. Amanda replies that she held strong. Fren says she passed out and lost. Amanda says she was fine and reminds her of their wager and asks if she is going to call her mommy. Fren tries, but she really doesn't want to. Amanda hugs her and says maybe it was too much. She understands that Fren already has a mother in her heart and can't trust her right away, but says she will be her ally whenever needed. Teacher says he checked her words with essence of falsehood and what she said was the truth. She is the protector of children. He says he is jealous. Fren says she smells nice, embracing her hug. The next morning, she apologizes for using fire magic in the woods. Cruz says it's okay, and that they didn't expect the duel to get so heated, which took them by surprise, so it's everyone's responsibility. She thanks him for keeping watch and sees his scars and asks him about them. He says they were inspired by her and took on Amanda themselves. They didn't last as long as she did. Now that they know her power, they are grateful to have her with them on the expedition. Cruz tells them about the dungeon being under Alessa's guild control, and that only guild leaders or people with permission can enter the dungeon. Everyone enters the dungeon, and teacher says let's go in and earn the ticket to enter the next dungeon. She agrees, and they enter. A mysterious person is walking towards the dungeon with a red potion in his hand. At the entrance, Fren and the team are ready to enter the cave. They see the cave. Cruz explains that there are obstructions that create blind spots, so watch out for spider monsters. He divides the group. In front is Dragon's Roar, who will search and dispatch all the enemies. Crad tells his group to keep their guard up. They all agree. Eye of the Forest is in the back. Frian's team is scattered, and one is scared of spiders. Amanda and Fren are on the sides. Amanda tells her she has a lot of memories of this place. When she was young, the dungeon was all the rage and a lot of adventurers lost their lives, many of whom were parents and left their children orphaned in the streets, so she decided to open the orphanage. Fren asks if she had a lot of money since she was powerful. She laughs and replies no. At that time, she was too weak to earn much, but the people from the town gave her housing. Crad interrupts, saying enough reminiscing. They are surrounded from all four sides by trapped spider monsters. Crad's team kills the monsters. Freon's team fights the spiders, and Cruz explains the spiders are not a threat, but their webs are a hassle. Freon's teammate gets trapped in the web, which immobilizes her. Freon says they are weak to fire, so they can burn them away. The other teammate says their materials are valuable, so burning them would be a waste. Cruz tells Fren to be careful. Teacher says they are treating her like an arsonist in the making. The second floor has other insect-type monsters. Fren asks Amanda the difference between arts, magic, and skills. Teacher is surprised Fren is asking questions on her own. Fren says they are confusing. Amanda is glad and wants to hug her. She says, no. Teacher was also thinking about how other adventurers learned arts and skills. Amanda starts with arts. They are attacks strengthened by mana, guided by spirit manipulation. The two teams fight the caterpillar monsters. She continues that they both use arts like her whip and Fren's sword. Fren asks how to practice and learn new ones. She replies that in battle, when one executes a movement similar to the art or when the mana is just right, the art will come like a divine revelation. She asks if it wasn't like that for her. Fren says she doesn't remember. Teacher says it makes sense, as she started with level 7 sword arts. Amanda says it's easier to learn new arts from a teacher. She agrees. On the third floor, there are no obstructions, and they can take a break. Crad's team steps on a trap. Cruz says starting from this floor, traps would appear more often. They complain he should have told them earlier. Freon's team hits a trap, thinking it's a button to turn off the traps, and moths fall on them, and they run away scared. The others all hit traps. Cruz tells his teammate to disarm all the traps. He uses his trap sense skill to disarm all the traps. Amanda explains skills next. Skills are a divine gift given when one's soul is sufficiently trained. Skills should be treasured. Fren is envious of the trap sense skill. Amanda continues that other than common skills, there are unique and bonus skills all given on a god's whim and fancy. Some skills are indescribable. Next is magic, which is mana manipulation, to control mana outside the body. There are earth, wind, fire, and water elements. In accordance with those, there are advanced forms of land, sea, inferno, and storm. Teacher says she has learned all four in advanced fire. Before learning magic, one needs to see if the element suits them. For water magic, they need to get so close to water that it appears in their dreams. Then one will be able to learn its magic. But if they are not suited to the element, they won't be able to learn its magic. And the same applies to the other elements. Fren asks how she learned wind magic. She replies she had to bathe in the wind by running around the strong gales naked. Everyone is surprised, and Fren wants to try it out too. Teacher says not under his watch. Cruz says if they clear this level they can go to the 4th level. Freon volunteers his group to lead. He tells them to spread out. He asks them to kill what they can and come back around. Amanda continues that next there is compound element magic. It's when one has the aptitude for 2 elements, they can be combined into a compound element. Freon uses wood magic. She explains it combines water and earth magic. Elves like Freon and Klimt have an affinity toward water and earth magic. It makes it easy for them to learn both elements even at low levels. There are other compound elements like ice, life, thunder, sand, and metal. Fren likes thunder magic. Amanda says mastering fire and wind magic may let her learn thunder magic, since she has affinity for them. She says it's quite rare to have multiple affinities. It's even rarer to have more than two. She tried to learn fire but didn't have what it takes. They decide to take a break. Friend shares her curry with Amanda, thanking her for teaching all that. She gloats about the curry. Friend asks about other elements. Amanda says light and shadow are even rarer than compound magic for humans. Teacher warns her that she can't tell Amanda that they can use all 4 elements plus shadow magic. Amanda explains, but Friend asks a question. Friend asks if shadow magic is only used by bad guys. She answers that it might sound bad, but it is just another type of magic. She continues that there are healing and summoning spells. But Friend's brain is overloading. She continues that some can only be used by monsters. They use mana in their two-day lives, which gives them talent for magic. Teacher realizes that he has been absorbing crystals from them. That's why he has rare magic and skills. Friend thanks her. Crad says all the monsters are easy and asks Cruz if this was enough for the exam. He replies there will be smarter monsters on level 5 and more difficult traps. He says he has heard of adventurers teleporting and being trapped in walls, and other traps that force them to unequip, so they are left without any weapons. Friend tells teacher that she wants to try thunder magic. He says she just found out about it. She can't just jump into it. She pleads, and he caves in and warns her not to use it until they get home. She promises on his demand. So he sees fire magic is maxed, so he maxes wind magic, and they unlock thunder magic. He adds it to the shared skills. She excitedly starts practicing despite his advice. On the 5th level, the trap specialist clears the traps as they fight many monsters. Cruz asks if they can continue, and both groups agree, and they move to the next floor, where the dungeon core is located. On the next floor, they are surrounded by poison spiders. One of Crad's teammates is poisoned, and the antidote doesn't work. Teacher says he has lethal poison, and Friend uses healing power to cure him. Teacher says they are stronger than the other spiders. With lethal poison, Friend tells them that. Cruz says the guild should summon only trap spiders. This shouldn't happen in a defeated dungeon. He wonders whether they evolved. It is too much for Rank E party. He orders everyone to retreat. Some are trapped in the webs and freed by the others, and Cruz asks for Amanda's and Friend's help to retreat. They do. On the way, 2 of them see spiders. Amanda confirms that they were hit by confusion poison. The guy with the trap sense skill says not to go there, as he didn't disarm the traps there. They bump into Friend, and all 3 fall down the stairs and trigger a trap. Teacher tells her to hold on to him, and they will figure something out. He gets left behind and they vanish. They figure it was a teleport and unequipped trap. They wonder how this is happening in a defeated dungeon. They refer to the guild map and go down to the room they are supposed to be in. The room is empty. The location for the teleportation has changed without a dungeon master. Amanda says there is a possibility. Friend wakes up without teacher. They ask Amanda, and she says only one creature can create such elaborate traps, the trickster spider. Without teacher, Friend can't use any skills or magic, and his skills can't find where she is. They are both worried. Friend is without teacher, so she doesn't have skills or magic to fight. The other 2 are freaking out, and traps are everywhere. Teacher is worried. They ask about the monster that creates traps on its own. Cruz asks how a trickster spider got there. Did it evolve on its own? Freon says it might be another entity. Amanda says they might encounter the trickster spider in any case. Crad says they are in trouble without their weapons, so they need to find them quickly. Cruz splits everyone into 3 groups to search. They are warned to keep an eye out for traps and not to engage directly with the spider. Amanda is searching alone and uses wind magic to collect all the sounds. Teacher has been looking using his power, and neither of them can find Friend. He is worried about her. She doesn't have magic or anything to defend herself, and her stats must have gone down too. She can't take care of herself. Everyone else is getting anxious while searching for them. The trickster spider is setting more traps, which Friend can't beat. Teacher is desperate and thinks of all the skills he has that can help find Friend. He uses split mind and thinks of the summon minion skill. He can use the minion to find Friend, but if he uses it, Amanda will figure him out. However, he prioritizes finding Friend and asks the system what minion he can summon. She says any wolf, so he asks which one can find Friend. She says an onyx wolf with the detect creature skill. He uses all his mana to summon the creature. Amanda, unaware, is on her guard. The onyx wolf attacks him instead of following orders. Amanda plans on killing it. Teacher stops her through telepathy and tells her he summoned it. She asks who is talking. He says there is no time to explain, but he is a friend of friends and needs the wolf to find her, and pleads with her not to kill it. She says okay, and lets him handle it. He wonders how, when the system informs him that the Onyx Wolf is under mana frenzy. This happens when a minion is summoned with too much mana, when the mana infused is too great for its heart to bear. It leads to an uncontrolled flow of mana, so the creature recognizes its summoner as a threat. As he caused the creature pain, he didn't want it to be in pain. He wonders what he can do. Amanda asks if he has named it yet, and tells him she heard a rumor that creatures are given names by the gods, and the receivers gain special powers. Similarly, naming the creature might strengthen their bond and give the minion greater strength to assist them better. Teacher compares it to video games and asks the system. The system says naming the creature will have a 93% chance of success. Teacher struggles and names it Jet. He charges forward, and at the last second, he changes, and his heart is okay with the excess mana. Jet has evolved. He checks its stats. Teacher thinks naming it made a difference and thinks about how Friend's name was taken. He thinks names serve a magical purpose in this world. He tells Jet to find Friend using her scent on him. Friend struggles to keep up with all the traps. Jet finds her scent and runs. Jet uses a skill. Teacher compares it to the one the greater demon used. He tells Amanda to follow the dog when she asks. Friend gets attacked by poison and feels weak. She compares herself to who she was before Teacher. A nobody with no name. The other two are getting attacked by spiders. Friend is feeling depressed when she hears Teacher's voice saying they can't beat her. She gets up and frees them from the spiders by killing some of them. As she still has her arms and legs, she falls to her knees but bangs her head. The two tell her not to push herself so hard, but her body remembers how to fight. She says she is Friend, a black cat who strives to evolve. Jet crosses all the traps with shadow magic and air leap, and they reach a dead-end hallway. Jet says this is the place. Amanda tells them to back up and breaks the wall with wind magic, revealing a hidden passage, but it is covered with webs. Even if they cut through them, they will get caught and waste a lot of time. Teacher volunteers to enter. Friend fights. The two think she is leading the monster away from them. Friend is motivated to make Teacher proud. He thinks about what spell will work on the web. He uses Fireblade with all his mana, and Friend fights with all her power. The trickster spider is about to attack when Teacher comes in. He slices and burns the spider. They reunite, and Teacher sees that she is hurt and wants to heal her, but she tells him to kill the spider first. He turns to see the trickster spider gone. They decide to go after it later, and he uses greater heal to heal her wounds and the effects of the poison. She embraces him even though he is still hot from the previous spell. He warns her, but she is fine and hugs him. He says he is proud of her. Amanda runs over and hugs them both, glad they are okay. Friend notices Jet. He smells and licks her. Teacher introduces Jet and tells her he is her junior. He did a great job finding her. She thanks and hugs Jet. Amanda says she is done pretending and asks about the talking sword. He confesses that he stopped hiding halfway through. She says she doesn't want to be nosy. She doesn't want to interfere with another adventurer's equipment, unless they are trusted comrades. Friend says she is trustworthy. She asks Teacher if she can tell her about him. He says she is not going to be a villain, and they have grown close, so he agrees, allowing Friend to have other friends. Friend tells her. She is fascinated and enamored. Friend calls him a super amazing, one-of-a-kind sword. She agrees and asks if he is her ally. He agrees to be with her until the end. She is glad to meet Teacher. She is happy Friend trusted her with her secret and hugs her tightly. They decide to meet the others. Friend remembers the other two. Friend and Teacher use healing on them, and they wake up. They call her a goddess. Amanda asks what they remember. They say Friend fought, and then they passed out from the poison. She is glad. Teacher asks why. She says if they knew Friend's secret, she would have to beat it out of them. Amanda carries one guy, and the other is in Jet's mouth. He worries Jet might eat him, but Friend tells him she can order Jet to throw him. He says it's fine. The other complains Amanda is making him look bad. She replies that she can make it worse. The others are not at the spot where they decided to meet. They wonder if they are slow or if something happened. They plan on looking for them with Jet's help. The trickster spider cries out in pain, which they hear. They see a bright light above them. Teacher senses mana. It's a white owl with demonic eyes flying above them. Friend calls it a monster. They wonder what new threat it is. Amanda wakes up a girl saying Keenan and the others are waiting for her to have breakfast, and she is about to say something. An owl flies over them, and Friend calls it a monster. Elsewhere, the others are fighting spiders. The trap specialist apologizes for missing the teleport trap. Cruz tells him to save the apology for later and be grateful they still have their weapons. They are struggling, as some are poisoned and barely alive, while others are trapped in the spider webs, scared the spiders might lay eggs. They are out of antidotes and healing potions. Another trap is activated, but no one moved. A huge boulder comes at them. Before reaching them, it is cut into pieces, and Fren and Amanda come to their rescue. Everyone is glad they are okay. The people trapped in the webs yell for help. Fren tells Jet to get them down. She asks if she can use fire, and Teacher gives her permission. She burns most of the spiders. Amanda thinks fire is dramatic and uses wind to cause a storm. The others join the fight. The white owl is Frian's friend. He says he is glad he sent him to find help. The owl complains about being called a monster by Fren. He apologizes. The owl tells him to go fight. Fren sees the trickster spider. She is ready for payback, and Teacher agrees. But the spider uses webs to create a shield around itself. Frian tells the owl to help. The owl sprinkles healing potion on them and says it will cause confusion among the spiders. Cruz says they will take out the spider swarm. He wants her to take out the trickster spider. She uses flare burst to attack the web shield. She rides Jet to get close to it and attack. The trickster spider attacks her with a swarm of spiders and tries to run. Teacher tells her to give it her all, and she uses thunder magic. The system tells them that thunder magic has low attack power, but causes paralysis. Teacher says they can use the paralysis and then use fire or other magic to defeat them. They have a lot to practice. Amanda is surprised Fren already learned thunder magic. She is proud of how fast Fren is growing. The spider gets up and attacks again, throwing Fren back. Amanda thinks of Keenan and Fromir, who wanted to be adventurers. She couldn't teach them. She was worried they would die in battle. She wanted them to have long lives trying to protect them. She doesn't want anyone to die on her watch and attacks the spider herself, saying she will protect Fren forever. Everyone is surprised by her power, and Teacher and Fren wonder where the spider went. The system tells him both the spider and its crystal were destroyed. And when Amanda comes for a hug, asking if she is okay, Teacher tells her they wanted the super rare mana crystal, and Fren wanted payback. Amanda wonders if it was bad for her to do that. They find a pathway. They hope it leads to the core room. Cruz orders them to head to their final destination. Amanda cries at Fren's feet, asking her not to hate her. Teacher admires the skill of her wind spell. They reach the core room. The room is filled with colorful crystals. Cruz gives them bags and tells them to collect as many as they can, and warns them not to say anything. He tells them that if information about the amount of materials generated in the dungeon gets out, other guilds and nations will be after it. He warns Crad not to steal the crystals. The trap specialist says the core is still set so that only trap spiders can spawn. Cruz asks Amanda if they should eradicate the higher tier monsters. Amanda thinks they can't take away the dungeon's power. She tells them to return and ask the guild master. Crad comes to Fren and hesitantly thanks her for saving his men's lives. He is about to make up with her, but before he can finish, Fren kills a spider above him with fire and burns his hair in the process. She boasts that if she hadn't saved him, he would be dead. He says never mind and says they still have beef between them. Later, Fren asks Amanda if she has heard of any black cat who evolved. Amanda says she wants to evolve too. She says she knew 2 other black cats who had the same goal as Fren. Fren asks if they ever evolved. Amanda says they died. She tells Fren that she supports her but not to strain herself. She replies okay. The next morning, they return to town. Teacher is glad they completed their first party dungeon mission. Later, in Klimt's office, he comments on the C rank, familiar. He thanks her for completing the quest. She says she had slip-ups and couldn't contribute as much. Klimt names everything she did on the mission and says she did more than enough. He grants her permission to enter the Olmut dungeon and tells her to look at some of the classes she unlocked. He asks when she will leave. She says tomorrow or the day after. He says she will be missed. She thanks him for everything. Nell takes her to the crystal to unlock her class. She upgrades her class to Battle Mage. She shows off her new class on her guild card. Next she goes to Gallus. He has finished making her armor. She tries it on. Gallus says its name is the Black Cat set, and she is the owner of a named item. Teacher says that's what Amanda was talking about when he named Jet. Gallus says named items have better stats and divine protection. He says to thank the god of beasts for the armor. Teacher yells at Gallus about Fren's exposed belly in her armor. He replies that cat types prefer less clothing to feel the wind and other disturbances with their skin. Some hate how restrictive fabric can be. Fren agrees and says it's easier to move around in it. Teacher asks what happens if someone aims at the exposed part. Gallus demonstrates. He hits her with a hammer on the exposed part, and he is thrown backward. He says it blocks most extreme damage. He says it would be fatal for someone in unnamed armor, but in named armor, they are safe from deadly attacks. He says the armor's divine protection boosts all stats and prevents instant death for the wearer, but only black cats can earn that protection. Teacher approves of the armor, and friend says it fits just right and thanks Gallus. He says it has been a while since he had so much fun. He says they are heading to the Olmut dungeon next, and says he was also thinking of setting up shop there. They ask him to join them. He says they will be going by sea. Teacher says yes, since friend has never seen the sea. Gallus says he prefers the land route because he doesn't know how to swim. Amanda visits Rufus's spice shop, calling him one of her kids. She asks if there have been any customers. He says a black cat with a sword came, and he sold her spices and utensils. She tells him that's friend. He says she knows her, as expected of the protector of children. She reminds him of the 2 other black cats at the orphanage. She says after leaving the orphanage, they came back with news which was their last meeting. It was a while before news of their deaths reached her. She blames herself for not being able to help them. If only she had taught them to defend themselves properly. She leaves. The next day, Fren is leaving and everyone comes to see her off. Teacher is proud of her for making so many connections with different people. Fren tells Amanda she will come back stronger and win their next duel. Amanda tells Teacher to take care of her and says she is glad Fren has him. She rides on Jet. Teacher hesitates and says the whole time she didn't call Amanda mommy. Fren says she is not her mom. She agrees and calls her mommy Amanda. Amanda is taken back and remembers the time when Fren's parents introduced her to Fren. Fren leaves and everyone says goodbye to her. In Klimt's office, Freon enters, calling him his uncle and saying he almost died. He replies that if there is anyone to blame, it is August. He says one of the guild members confessed to feeding evolution potions to the monsters. Freon says the potions are rare and expensive. He assumes the money might have come from the northern kingdom Rados. He speculates August was using it to take control of the dungeon and then give it to Rados. Klimt says it's a shame about August and asks about his other request. Did his spirit sense anything about Fren? He calls Tarua the owl. He says she has no ill will, is eager to learn, and is not plotting anything nefarious. Klimt says she is not a Rados spy. Freon says she would be quite a threat if she were not their ally. Klimt agrees and says he is tired of doubting her. Teacher wonders about the things awaiting them, and Fren says she will be okay with Teacher and Jet by her side. That's all for today. If you liked this anime, make sure to comment why and help us reach 1,000 likes. That way, we'll know you really want the next part.